Oh, there you are, Your Excellency. The Enlightened has heard my prayers.
What's going on? Where are the others?
After deciphering the content of the tablets, they went north to continue their research in some swamps. But they must have encountered problems. Brother Fidelis came back here, and he was in a dreadful state. He most likely came to seek help, but he fainted. It's impossible for us to know what happened to them.
I am not a doctor, but I may be able to examine him.
Oh, please do. Any help would be appreciated, and the healer we sent for will certainly arrive too.
This man is burning up with fever, and he bears several bite marks and traces of blows.
The blows did not put him in this state. He looks like a victim of poisoning. With the right antidote, I think we could get him back on his feet.
Have you tried giving him any antipoison?
Of course, but to no avail. And what if it were a hex cast by the heretics?
No matter what happens, you always suspect them.
Why, of course. These savages are always to blame. The man was in the swamp. There are some rare animals there, and their venom is terrible. A healer from the area will know the antidote.
We could ask Lair. He will direct us to someone who understands remedies.
Onol Manawi, you've come back. I heard that you managed to retrieve
Did Vindwal tell you?
Yes, and I feel more at peace, knowing that our brothers are alone. And you proved me right. Peace with the Renite.
I need your advice. You may already know that one of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition.
I heard about it.
He has all the symptoms of a poisoning, but the anti-poisons we gave him had no effect. He must have been bitten by a creature of the swamp, and we're looking for a healer who would know of a suitable antidote.
So, you came to see me. Interesting. Our neighbors did not think for one moment that we could be helpful. Alas, our Donegat is one of the exiles. But Vindwal knows plants well. She will know.
Thank you. I will go see her. I hope she agrees to help us. I have to go.
Like so many other.
Here you are again. What do you want?
I have come to ask for your help. Lair told me you know about remedies.
I do know a few of them. I have learned about plants. I used to want to become a Donegad.
One of the researchers came back wounded from the expedition. Apparently he was bitten by a creature of the swamp.
And now he has the Llewellyn fever. We have a good knowledge about this affliction. He will die if he does not receive proper treatment.
Do you know which antidote should be given to him?
Yes. These priests are idiots. They could have asked for our help, but they treat us like children. You are different. And you have allowed my son to join a new clan. So, I will give you the potion to cure the priest. Wait a moment. Make him drink this remedy and he'll get better.
Thank you, Vindwell.
Where am I?
You're in Eden. You are safe.
Was I unconscious for a long time? The other members of the expedition, they are in danger. The swamp is so hostile. We weren't prepared for it. Some of our people have disappeared.
What caused these wounds?
A nightmarish creature. The swamp is full of them. A colleague and I had left to fetch some help when we were attacked. I managed to run away, but I don't know what happened to him. As for those who are at the camp, you must go help them.
Show me the location of your colleagues on the map. I will join them.
There. Please, hurry.
Thank you. You should rest now.
The enlightened protect me in this battle! May the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the enlightened the enlightened protect me in this battle! May the enlightened protect me in this battle!
I do not remember there being a path in this place the last time we came.
Indeed. It was probably cleared by the expedition. We should follow it if we want to find them.
had no way of knowing.
Really? But I did warn you. You just wanted to have it your way. Someone so foolish and thoughtless should not be supervising.
Hey, what's happening here? I could hear you from miles away.
Your Excellency, I'm so happy to see you. You arrived right on time to settle this matter.
How did you manage to find us in the middle of this swamp?
Brother Fidelis managed to reach Eden. He's the one who told us where your camp was.
But he didn't leave alone. What happened to Father Orbricus, who was accompanying him?
He must be dead, like our other companions. This is all your fault. This is yet more proof that you are not fit to lead such a team. I should be the one in charge.
Maybe you should calm down and explain to me what's happening here.
This expedition was undertaken with no concern for common sense. We are not equipped to explore this type of place. Our people are disappearing, and all we have found are some falsified writings.
Brother Virgil is terrified, which probably explains why he is being so disingenuous. We have made incredible discoveries, and we could find more.
You are beyond redemption. I won't waste another second talking to you. If you want to talk to me, Your Excellency, it will have to be without her.
How charming.
Your Excellency, I hope you will forgive us for that scene. My relations with Virgil have always been difficult, but ever since we arrived here, it has been unbearable. I'm afraid we may need an arbiter.
Before anything else, I need to know what has led to this situation between you.
What would you like to know?
For what reason were you quarreling?
The expedition itself, I'm afraid. Virgil was always against it, especially under my supervision. For him, our discoveries in Eden were sufficient. They confirmed what he wanted. The rest did not matter. According to him, we should never have continued. And when we found new tablets, it became even worse.
Were they also written by Saint Matthias?
Without a doubt. The handwriting is the same. There are also some patterns, some islander symbols. It's fascinating. But what really angers Virgil is the content we managed to decipher. Our founder explains that he learned a lot from the islanders. Something our brother cannot accept. He now persists in saying that these tablets are fake, forged by the natives themselves.
Brother Fidelis told me that several members of the expedition have disappeared.
Yes, that's why he left along with Father Orbricus to fetch some help. 3 more of our colleagues are missing. And I'm not even talking about the ones who fell ill. I must admit that I underestimated the hardships we would encounter. I made a mistake. I should have prepared this expedition more thoroughly. But Virgil's being disingenuous does not help.
And no one has searched for those who are missing.
I wanted us to search for them, but someone later convinced me that it presented too much of a risk. Along with lack of preparation, our constantly decreasing number, and creatures swarming the area.
And by someone, I suppose you mean Brother Virgil.
Indeed.
I'm thankful for these pieces of information. But you understand that I will also have to talk to Brother Virgil.
Of course, that's understandable. You must hear us both before you can make a decision.
Brother Virgil.
What do you want?
Can you explain to me what caused such a quarrel?
The reason for it is very simple. It is Eugenia's folly. This woman should never have been the supervisor of our team. The discoveries made in Eden were sufficient, but no. She didn't want to stop the research. She organized this expedition in a hurry, without taking elementary precautions, and now she's accepting as facts the delirious writings we discovered on these tablets, without doubting them for even 1 second.
What do you mean?
We found some new tablets, allegedly written by Saint Matthias, but their content is so absurd that they were obviously forged. I am certain that the natives must have found these stones before us and modified their content.
How would they have done that? The natives cannot write.
They must have been helped by an unscrupulous settler. How would I know?
Brother Fidelis told me that some of your colleagues went missing. Do you know anything about this?
They did not go missing. They were killed. It was the wild beasts, the diseases, and let's not forget the savages. We can feel their presence, roaming around the camp at night. I am certain that they are responsible for the death of our colleagues.
That's strange. There aren't many villages around here.
There aren't any. There are a few hermits, but they are not fighters. And they have better things to do than roam around their camp at night.
We've been in this region before, and the only native we met was a little insane, but would have been incapable of killing several priests.
Those savages may very well have been following us since our departure. We will not be safe on this island until it is entirely converted.
I see. So, you haven't tried to find your colleagues?
So we can die as well? I am not as crazy as Sister Eugenia.
I cannot take sides in your quarrel for now. And in any case, it is not what matters the most. Even if you think they are dead, we have to try finding your colleagues.
Well, if you are prepared to take such a risk, I can only commend you for your bravery and wish you luck. But I would not get my hopes up. You should start by searching the excavation site. To get there, take the path south of here. But be careful. The creatures that roam the area are ruthless.
about to get dicey!
The body of this man was devoured by beasts, but it happened after he died. One of the wounds is clearly a knife wound. But alas, it is impossible to know who was wielding it. This poor soul was almost entirely devoured. He must have been killed by swamp animals. Even so, this wound looks different from the others. It looks like a knife wound.
You're right. He was stabbed before being fed to the animals. But anyone could have used such a blade.
These fang marks are impressive. The poor man didn't have a chance. He must have been attacked by a large reptile. Most likely a Llewellyn. But what was he doing alone, so far from the camp? The cause of death is no mystery. This man was attacked by one of those large reptiles, a Llewellyn. And yet, these iridescent marks on his skin make me think that a stasis spell was cast on him first. He was intentionally immobilized so that he would fall prey to this animal. This man's death was no accident, nor was it linked to any predator attack. It was caused by a violent strike to the back of the skull with a mace, and it didn't take place here. The marks surrounding the body show that it was moved, most likely to make it seem like he fell to his death. It seems obvious now that these disappearances were orchestrated.
The deaths of these people were a deception. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to do such a thing. They kill each other and accuse my people. This virgin, he wants to push aside this woman at all cost. He must be the culprit.
Indeed. I think that we should go find this brother and ask for an explanation. Brother Virgil.
Your Excellency! Weren't you supposed to be looking for our colleagues?
Indeed. I regret to say that they are indeed all dead.
I knew it. What a waste. Eugenia and her recklessness are to blame for this.
I'm afraid someone else is responsible for this. These deaths are not accidental, and yet they were disguised as such.
The savages! Their thirst for blood is unquenchable. I knew we should never have come without an escort.
Watch your tongue, priest. Our people have no need to hide when they protect their land. Only the Renaigse are deceitful enough to disguise a death.
Who else could it be?
Someone who desperately wanted this expedition to fail. Does that remind you of anyone?
Fine. You unmasked me. But know that my cause is righteous. The Ordo Luminis sent me to keep an eye on this expedition, to ensure that the discoveries we made would not jeopardize our nation or our presence on this island. But the inscriptions on the tablets are a heresy, a dangerous manipulation. Can you imagine what would happen if it was said that our founder listened to the teachings of the natives? But even then, foolish Eugenia accepted these discoveries as truth, without any hesitation, without realizing that our entire nation could suffer because of it. So yes, I wanted to scare her.
I understand that you might want to protect your nation, but to go as far as assassinating several of your colleagues...
Come now. What would you do if someone were threatening the congregation? You cannot make me believe that you would not be willing to kill. You may have already done so. But since you want to avoid using violence, help me convince Eugenia to go back to Eden. My colleagues and I know how to sort through these discoveries. And you will be rewarded, of course.
This Renaigse tried to blame my people for these crimes. The priests would have wanted to punish them, and innocent people would have died. He must answer for his treachery.
It seems to me that all members of this expedition are concerned. They should decide on what to do next. Everybody listen. Alas, I must inform you that I found the dead bodies of your missing colleagues.
How awful. What happened to them?
Someone wanted us to believe that they were killed by some swamp animals. But it was all staged. Your colleagues were murdered, and their bodies abandoned to the creatures.
What? But why do such a thing? And who murdered them?
Brother Virgil confessed to his crimes in front of me.
Monster! You will pay for these crimes. These people you killed were our brothers. Our friends.
You stupid goose. You really believe that I will let you pass judgment on me? You shouldn't have been so quick to accept these lies that could destroy our nation, and want to reveal them for all to hear. You are solely responsible for these deaths.
How dare you present yourself as the protector of our nation? Murderer!
I'm sorry, sister. Brother Virgil fled during the battle.
The coward. And naturally, his accomplices fled along with him. What a waste. So many people died.
Perhaps I shouldn't have revealed his crimes in front of everyone, but I thought it was the best way of ensuring he would be judged.
Considering how high tensions have been these last few days, a fight was inevitable, alas. But you did what you thought was fair. Here, take this. As a token of gratitude for shedding light on these dismal events. Alas, we will have to go back to Eden as well. There are too few of us to continue the research.
Were you hoping to discover more?
Of course. This place was but a single step in St. Matthias's journey. The last tablets speak of a journey northbound, further up in the swamp. But even if Virgil is no longer a threat, we are not sufficiently well equipped to go there.
We could go there for you if you wish. You just have to tell us where to look.
That would be marvelous. Of course, you would have to start from the excavation site where he wrote this. I think I noticed a path going north when I was there, actually. Look for any traces of life. Perhaps you will be lucky enough to find more of his writings. That would be fantastic.
Don't worry. I will conduct this research and come find you here if I uncover anything.
You'd have to be insane to want to live in such a place. Even a saint would want to stay dry.
Watch out, Anadai! Found the Dara Grimaterum Dam!
Move away! Things are about to get dicey! longer! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! Green blood! I can't hold on much longer! To my help! A cavern! If I were an old hermit, this is probably where I'd have settled. Someone lived here. There's no doubt about it. But we'll have to turn the place upside down if we want to make sure that the old man came here. Things are about to get dicey!
This is a cave of knowledge, or at least it looks like one. The old man must have been exceptional to be able to live in such a place.
Let's take a closer look at these paintings. We may learn something from them. This mural depicts an old man praying in front of a face in the mountain. He's holding a rosary. Saint Matthias, praying to Enon Milfrichteman. This mural is very ancient. It depicts an old man dressed as a priest, getting his face painted by a masked native. It looks like a chaplet made of pewter. It's rather basic, but it was made a long time ago. And it undeniably comes from the continent. I seem to recall that Saint Matthias is almost always depicted using a similar rosary. There are some native symbols here and some letters I recognize, as if someone had tried to write in the native language using our alphabet. Men dwi stad en on mil fruktemen.
It means, welcome us amongst your people. Enon mil frichtemen.
This is incredible. Saint Matthias would have known about the spirit of the island and would have prayed to him. Engraved tablets. They resemble the ones we recovered in Eden. We should take them with us. The researchers would be delighted to study them. I do not know these glyphs, but these spirals are native symbols. There are some words in our ancient language next to them. The light and the earth are the two faces of a same power. It's impossible to know if this is a translation or another sentence. But this is a message that would seriously displease the Inquisitors.
I cannot believe it. These symbols, they are signs used in the secret writing of the Donegada. So that's what it was. The priest's old sage became a Donegad. I don't think that they'll be happy about that. And yet, it could bring peace. The Solasser will no longer be able to burn our people and our guardians.
Why is he not depicted wearing the marks of the Donegada?
It was a very long time ago. Magic had not yet been given to us by Enon mil frichtemen.
I wonder what I should do with these relics. Eugenia probably didn't imagine that Saint Matthias lived his life in a way that's so different from what they advocate. As for Virgil, he wasn't wrong. Such a revelation will certainly cause a schism in Thélème.
To think these old things could cause a civil war. Or long-lasting peace with the natives. It is a serious responsibility to decide what to do with them. But it isn't ours. Their saint, their decision.
I already took sides in their quarrel. If I change my mind, I'm afraid that it might be seen as treason. I'll think about it on the way there. Let's go back to the researchers' camp.
So, did you find anything? Or do you need my help?
We discovered a cave that was inhabited a long time ago by a whole group of people, mostly natives, who had obviously created a sacred site, as the place was guarded by a creature.
And have you found traces of our holy founder? New relics? Perhaps some tablets?
There were also frescoes on the site, representing Saint Matthias.
Frescoes? Tell me more. This is fascinating.
He was shown having his face painted by a native. On another, he prayed to the god of the mountain.
You can't be serious. You mean to say that our saint converted to the cult of the Islanders?
That is what emerges from our findings, yes. Other objects that I was able to bring back also point in this direction. Look, there are inscriptions. These tablets and also this chaplet.
This chaplet? I cannot believe it. It is so... Excuse me. I cannot find the words to express how I feel. You must come with me. We must go and present all these discoveries to the Mother Cardinal. You realize our entire dogma will have to change. So far, anyone who wanted to question it would have burned their fingers. Literally, alas.
And you think that this time they'll listen?
We have solid proof. All this evidence. With your support, we will convince her to reveal the truth.
I see. I will do my best to help you.
It seems we are arriving right on time. You did well to warn us, Brother Virgil.
Virgil? How did you know?
I'm afraid that your Excellency's lies weren't very convincing.
We were informed of your discoveries and of the danger they represent. We demand that you hand them over to us immediately, so that they can be destroyed.
How can you even suggest the destruction of relics written by the hand of our founder?
Out of love for our dogma, for our faith, and for our nation. But since you refuse to comply with our orders, you leave us no choice.
Death to the heretics! To my house! And death to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
I just fought my own brothers in faith. The fact that the Inquisition is after us is very disturbing, Excellency.
We would do well to hasten to San Matthias. They will not dare to attack you there. And we will have to take care of Bishop Domitius. He will do everything he can to discredit us.
You are right. All this proves is that I will not succeed without your help. There is a risk that the Mother Cardinal will also reject our discoveries.
And I could bring Petrus with me. He will surely find the words to convince her.
That would be most helpful. Father Petrus is renowned for his eloquence. In any case, we must present our research to Mother Cardinal as soon as possible. I will study the tablets one last time to make sure I know all their content, and I will meet you at the palace in San Mateus to plead our case.
Understood. See you soon, Sister Eugenia. Be careful.
Ah, Your Excellency. We were eagerly awaiting your arrival. Sister Eugenia was just recounting me the tale of your achievements and telling me about the incredible discoveries you've made.
These relics shed a new light on the last years of our founder. It all demonstrates that he hadn't evangelized the islanders, but, on the contrary, he would even have adopted some of their rituals, merging the cult of the enlightened and the cult of nature in a single dogma.
These discoveries, if they can be verified, are extraordinary. But they also represent a great upheaval that could harm our nation. We must first verify their authenticity. You are the only ones who entered this cave. Could what you have witnessed been a falsification?
The cavern we discovered is located in a very remote place. There's no island or village nearby. It contains some ruined dwellings, but clearly no one has lived there for a very long time. Fraudsters would inevitably have left traces of their passage, and we have not found any. The entrance to the cave was protected by one of those giant creatures that the natives call a nardaig. These guardians usually protect sacred places, and let no one enter without a fight. I had to kill this beast, which leads me to think that nobody had entered the cave for a very long time. We discovered ancient frescoes on the walls of the cave. They represent Saint Matthias without a doubt. He's depicted with his chaplet. In one, he is praying for the divinity of the island. In the other, his face was being painted by a native. I understand how shocking these discoveries are, but their antiquity proves that they are genuine.
The tablets found at the site, however, attest that our founder had not abandoned the cult of the enlightened. He simply saw it as two different reflections of the same divine power.
The relics could be authentic, Your Excellency, but we only have your word to convince us. The political and religious impact of these discoveries will be unprecedented. We risk schism, civil war, and who is to say that this is not a plan to weaken us?
Are you suggesting that I invented all this to weaken Thélème? May I remind you that you sent me to Eden to help with the research?
Your memory plays tricks on you, Your Excellency. I sent you there to solve a case of theft, which you have resolved, and I thank you for it. But at no time did I ask you to participate in our research.
I would also like to inform you that a member of the Ordo Luminis was part of the expedition. He tried several times to sabotage it, even killing many of his colleagues for it. And finally, he attacked us, as we were preparing to join San Matthias.
Who'd have thought that the remaining members of the Order would go to such extremes? But I fear these attacks are just a reflection of what will happen if your discoveries are made public.
Your Eminence, we are faced with a crucial choice for our nation. What does a man of faith do in such a dilemma? He prays and places his trust in the one who came before him and has shown more wisdom. Saint Matthias shows us a new way. If we are believers, can we really turn our backs on him?
You surprise me, Petrus. You who are always so political, yet your words seem sincere. You give me something to think about. Thank you. Does anyone wish to add anything?
I understand your doubts about the future, which are inevitably caused by such a revelation. You hesitate just as St. Lucius did to tell us about the journey of his master. Yet in the end he revealed what he knew, and his words still guide Thélème today.
Thank you for your testimony. I will now retire to think about everything and make my decision. After much thought, I have decided it best to silence these dangerous discoveries. Our nation cannot risk civil war.
But, Your Eminence, this research...
Enough, my dear. I have made my decision. Your research must end immediately.
I cannot keep the secret of what I discovered. The world must know.
It would be a shame to hear that our most distinguished theologian was arrested for heresy, my dear.
Very well, Your Eminence.
Your Excellency, I cannot deny the importance of the help you have given us, and I am grateful for it. And I hope I can count on your discretion. It would be a shame for our relationship with the congregation to suffer due to questionable allegations.
Of course, Your Eminence.
Karans, do you need something?
I must leave you. See you later.
Desarde, what can I do for you?
I've settled the problem in San Mateus. Several of your men were imprisoned by the Ordo Luminis. The misguided brothers planned to attack the port. I had them arrested. They should no longer be a threat to you. The Order thought you to be heretics because of your tradition of secrecy.
The secrets. They often cut both ways. Therefore, I'm going to reveal to you another. We discovered this island nearly 2 centuries ago. A few decades later, we sold the discovery to your nation of merchants. Then, our closest allies. We transported some lords, men and merchandise. They began to colonize the island. The lords revealed themselves to possess a tyrannical nature and began to exploit the lands with a deadly passion. Their actions provoked a revolt of the natives, but also the very workers and craftsmen they had brought with them. The magic of the natives of Tir Fredee was awoken. Beasts came out of the woods and destroyed the new cities. Only a handful of lords and armed men were able to make it back to our ships. The losses were enormous. The humiliation, devastating. Your princes paid us well to keep their secret. They continued to make the occasional expedition. You are, in fact, a product of one of them.
What are you saying?
You must have had your doubts. You are the child of a native. You were born on one of our ships.
The child of an islander? But I know who my mother is, and...
I understand how difficult this is to hear. And I wouldn't know why your family has kept this from you all this time. In the end, we decided to sell the secret location of the island to other nations. The congregation, in spite of its fears, could not keep away. And here you are again. I am sorry for the shock I have caused you. You asked me for the truth, and now you have it. Anything else?
I need to be going. Until we meet again, Admiral. I can't believe it. That for all this time, I've been fed lies. Did Constantine know? I must go see him.
I am sorry, Greenblood. I promise you that I knew nothing of it. And as far as I'm concerned, this changes nothing. I will keep watching over you.
Come closer, good people. Liqueur and wine from the continent.
Cousin, you couldn't pick a better time. I've been taken with jitters, like a cat on a midday roof.
What are you waiting for with such anticipation?
I took your advice, you see? I've summoned one of these crows! He has been examining me for nearly an hour. I just barely escaped a purge. But I was given the mandatory bleeding. I so hate their little knives.
And so then, our venerable doctor, what is the verdict? The blood is black. Constantine, is this your blood? Constantine, answer me! Constantine, stay with me! Constantine! There is a chance he is in error. It might be something else.
I'm going to die.
No. No, Constantine.
I will die, like your mother, and the others on the continent. I'm dying. I don't want to die. I don't. Not so soon. It's so... Cousin, I don't...
Constantine, I am here. Pull yourself together. Out. Everyone out. It's an order.
Thank you, cousin.
There now. Are you better?
I don't know. You won't leave me, will you?
I'm going to find a cure, I promise you.
Didn't you promise the same thing to your mother? You know I'll be dead before you find one.
Don't say that. I will succeed. I've already some promising trails to explore.
I don't know, cousin. The tidings are so awfully dire. I'm afraid. I'm so afraid. I doubt the reason for your visit was to console me in my tragedy. Tell me, what brings you here?
It can wait. It's nothing that cannot be dealt with later.
But please, please, whatever it is, it will take my mind elsewhere.
I was able to get the whole story out of the Admiral in exchange for a service. As our investigation was leading us to imagine, the congregation did once attempt to colonize the island. The Nauts discovered it some 2 centuries ago and brought our people here a few decades later. But the enterprise to colonize the island failed completely. There were a great many bloody battles. Few colonists survived. The princes preferred to hide their defeat and paid the Nauts to keep the secret.
That they hid the fiasco from the world, I get. But that my father said nothing about it to me.
That's not the most shocking part of the story. Believe me.
What do you mean?
The congregation continued to make expeditions to the island with the help of the Nauts. According to the Admiral, my mother was captured from here during one of them. I was born on one of their ships.
What? But... that means you are not...
your fair cousin. No. All the lies that we've been fed since our tender childhood. The fable told I am the spitting image of my dead father, lost during an expedition. I don't know what to think, Constantine. Why did they do that to me?
I don't know. It's another one of their sly and dark orchestrations. Some vile intrigue. If it is of some comfort, no matter the true story, you will always be my fair cousin. You have always been the only one to care for me. You are my only friend. That's all that matters to me. Keep this discovery between us. No one needs to know. My aunt adopted you after all. Bring in the others. Let us speak of different concerns. That's enough bad news for one day. Kurt, what is...
Dismissed, soldiers! Leave us. We have much to say.
What is going on? I don't appreciate this attitude, Kurt. Must I remind you that these men all answer to me?
Times change, Your Highness. Or rather, they're about to do so.
Is that a threat? What are you hoping to accomplish? Don't tell...
Silence! We have little time, and none to lose.
Kurt, what are you talking about?
The commander of the Coin Guard is here in New Serene at this very moment. He's preparing a coup d'etat. In the 3 cities of the island, our men are going to eliminate the governors and their entourage.
This is madness. How?
How? You'll go down as easy as plum pie and cherry wine. Standing behind every one of you is one of our men. You have entrusted us with your security. You are completely at our mercy.
Then why did you send your men away? And why are you telling us all of this?
I've known you both for a very long time. Too long. I've come to know you. To respect you. And I've never reneged on a contract. These orders go against all that I am. A cold-hearted mercenary. Definitely. But never a traitor. And so now you are forewarned. You must take action.
Thank you, Kurt. I will not forget this. Constantine, we need to get you to safety as well as your counselors.
But I want to...
What? Take part? You can barely stand up. No, we must take you into the cellar.
If I've completely understood what you've said, Kurt, the governors of our cities are also in danger.
Yes. If you want to keep your allies, Your Highness, you also need to warn them.
Correct. We cannot let them fall into the hands of these traitors.
I will find the means to send them a messenger. Do you know where your conspirators are?
It would seem I should be one of them. They are counting on me to eliminate both of you. The most urgent matter is to get our hands on the commander and his 3 lieutenants. The others are doing nothing but following orders. If we cut off the heads, they will fall into rank.
I always knew you were a good man.
Don't make me change my mind. We'd better be off. Now. We'll certainly have to fight some traitors at Torsten's behest on our way to the cellar. Stay on your guard.
Stay behind us, Constantine. You're in no condition to fight.
We must also think about the advisors, including your professor. And then we have to rescue Lady Mirange.
We must hurry, before the guard can act. Lord Minister, the Coin Guard wants to take control of the island by assassinating all its governors.
The Guard is everywhere. They could succeed.
We will do everything in our power to thwart them. Come now. We'll take you somewhere safe.
I'll follow you.
Move away! Things are about to get dicey!
Close to it, Richness.
Lord de Corsillon, the Coin Guard tried to assassinate my cousin and is plotting the same actions against the other governors.
So, they have finally done it. Such proximity to power is a terrible temptation. It was only a question of time before they succumbed.
We should have paid more attention to your lessons. We might have been able to avoid all this. Follow me. I'm taking you somewhere safe.
I'm coming.
Move away! Things...
We've reached the cellar. It looks like a good place to hide. Constantine, promise me that you will stay here until we secure the city.
Do I even have a choice? Here I am, consigned to my quarters like some broken old maid.
Like someone ill, Constantine. Someone who is dear to me. and the city wouldn't survive your loss.
You have such a way with words. Very well. I promise to stay here, obediently awaiting your return.
Let's go then.
And cousin? Watch out for yourself. You are dear to me as well.
You will be safe here.
Thank you, my friend. I will never forget what you've done for me.
You are safe here.
You have my eternal gratitude, Excellency. We owe you our lives.
Lady Morange, make ready to depart. We cannot remain here.
But what is going on?
The Coin Guard has decided to take control of the Isle. They plan to overthrow the governors. They were set on assassinating Constantine and his entire entourage.
The idiots!
You are in danger. Do you know a safe place we could take you?
Don't worry about me. I have friends here. They will hide me. Go! And do be careful.
Make preparations to leave. I have a message to communicate immediately to the governor of San Mateus. You must tell the Mother Cardinal that the Coin Guard is preparing a coup d'etat. Her life and those of her entourage are in grave danger.
Very well, Your Excellency. I'll leave immediately.
to get diced!
Messenger, be ready to leave at once. You must warn the governor of Hikmet that a conspiracy is underway targeting him.
It's just that I can't leave the city just yet.
What are you talking about? The order comes from the governor. What more do you need?
It's just that I was told if I left the city today, it would cost me my life.
Who said that? The commander's men, I suppose.
I don't really know, but they were heavily armed and they pay very well.
If it's a question of money, how much did they promise you?
A lot.
You should be ashamed of your cupidity. Here, this should do it. Well?
Your Excellency is extremely generous. I should leave immediately. The commander must be in his upstairs quarters preparing the attack. We should try to reach him discreetly.
We could try to go through the tavern's kitchen.
That's one way to do it. Or we could use the scaffolding to access the upper floor directly. But it's visible from the dormitories. And I know that the young recruits were ordered to stay there.
They will not suspect us if we're wearing guard uniforms. Do you know where the 3 lieutenants you told us about are located?
Ludger is an instructor. He'll be in the right wing of the barracks. As for the other 2, they'll be at the tavern. Olga and Werner are in charge of the guards' secondary activities in the basement.
I see. Our priority should still be to stop Torsten. We will worry about the others later.
I'm sorry, Your Excellency. I know you've paid your entry fee, but this is a special night. My orders are not to let anyone in.
What if I paid you a supplement for your good services?
Very well, you can come in. I hope I won't be in trouble.
I regret, milady, we are closed this evening. Come back another day.
I'm not here to tempt my luck. Are you in charge?
That's right. What do you want from me?
From you? Nothing. We are here to arrest the commander's lieutenants.
Is that right? Now this ought to be good. And for what crime would that be?
You know very well. For high treason.
Oh, and you think that my men are just gonna let you, without so much as blinking an eye?
Whether they move or not, it matters little.
I must admit, You're not short of courage.
Weapons!
I thought I heard some ruckus out here. Soldiers, ready weapons! We are under attack!
Stop! The person we were here for has been brought to submission.
What did you want with Lieutenant Olga?
To arrest her. She has made some unfortunate decisions. It is not recommended you do the same.
Very well. We are dropping our weapons, soldiers. That dog's hide doesn't deserve our sacrifice.
What are you doing here? Who let you in? I demand an explanation.
It seems that your men are a little distracted this evening, Lieutenant. It is understandable, with all that's been going on. You are under arrest, as well as your commander.
But what is this? I recognize you. You're the governor's emissary. And Kurt, you had your orders.
Sorry, but forced to betray someone, I decided it would be the less likable of the lot.
Traitor. Soldiers, ready weapons!
To my help! And to the others! Move away! Things are about to get dicey! We've arrived too late.
Do you know where Torsten could have gone?
No. But we'll certainly find... some information about it in these papers. Torsten suspected that I would denounce him, and he was prepared to leave this place. We must catch up to him. He cannot get away with this.
Let's go.
Torsten is a snake, but he's clever. Apparently, he suspected I would refuse to follow his orders.
He must have been told about our attack on the ghost camp, and drew his own conclusions. He knew you better than you thought he did. It's blocked.
The guard, we're moving out. Break camp. We are no longer welcome here. And so, these snake oil merchants defy us by sending their watchdog. Let's show them what guards are made of!
You will regret ever going against the guard. You will regret ever going against the guard.
Come here, you pathetic dog!
The game is over for you, Commander.
Do I have the time to return and see those dear to me?
Constantine, how are you feeling?
Death is on my doorstep, and all hope has flown through the window. Come closer. What ill tidings do you bring?
I thought you would like to know that the Coin Guard's attempt to take control of the island has failed.
This is excellent news. The kind I've not had in a great while. Thank you, Kurt. Were it not for your loyalty, we were lost. And as for you, my fair cousin, you know what I owe you. Not only have you looked out for me, like always, but you have protected my advisors.
Yes. And if your highness would permit, I would like to relay our most sincere gratitude from all of Thélème. Thanks to your message, the Mother Cardinal was able to thwart the Commander's plans. By the grace of the Illuminated, the city is saved, and the traitors punished as they should be.
I was told that you were able to catch the Commander and his underlings before they were able to flee.
Barely, but yes. They are going to have to pay for their crimes.
I cannot remember if the traitors are hung before being quartered, or if it is the contrary. Enough talk of ruffians. They failed, and for that, I again thank Kurt.
If your highness is looking for a means to translate his gratitude, gold is a present that is always appreciated.
I imagine that you shall name a new commander.
Yes. I will discuss the matter with loyalist officers, but I think I know who will be elected.
I hope it is someone whom we can trust. We do need soldiers, but loyal soldiers above all.
We are well aware that the Guard's reputation has been tarnished. We will not make the same mistake twice. Sieglinde is solid and loyal. I have fought beside her.
You have my complete trust, Kurt. You have amply earned it.
As you advised me, I followed the leads shared by our allies, none of which led anywhere. However, they pointed in the same direction, towards a sort of god that the natives worship. They call him Enon Mil Frichtemen, the god of many faces. He is very powerful and protects the island.
How can you be sure that it's not some sort of myth? Even a superstition?
I saw it take shape with my own eyes, during a ritual. It is possible that the Malachor is the expression of its vengeance.
You are referring to the secret we unearthed. The entire continent is paying today for the errors of our grandparents. It is a terrifying perspective.
But if it were true, he must also be able to help us heal.
Princess, could you shed some light on this being? Is it possible to meet him?
All the Doneigada know him. He is the strength, the spirit of Tirfredi. You were looking for a demon or a remedy from plants, so I did not think of him. But yes, he is very powerful and as old as our world. He could surely heal your sickness. But it is not simple to meet him. Impossible, I would think. Though it is not my place to judge, you need to earn the trust of Glendan, the Elder of the Council. Ask him for his help.
I beg you, cousin. Go and find Glendan. Do all that he requires. Offer him all that he desires. I don't know how much longer I can hold on. My life is in your hands. And those of so many others.
I will do all in my power. I have already promised you, have I not? Where can I find this Glendan?
He lives in the village of Dorchad Genedu. It is in the heart of our island, at the entrance to our most sacred lands.
Thank you for your help, Princess. I will not forget the numerous services you have provided for us. Before you leave, I must ask you something.
All right. I'm listening.
I do suffer, my fair cousin. I suffer so horribly, and alas, we have yet to discover neither cure nor remedy. Don't blame yourself. I know how much you do for me. Yet, I'm afraid that before the sickness claims me, the pain will have driven me mad. If only there was a way to ease my suffering.
I know of a healer, with powers that are legendary amongst the clans. It is rumored he can alleviate even the most terrible pains. His village is west of the city. I could take you there.
One of our holy men lives in San Mateus. His healing powers are supposedly miraculous. Alas, it is a miracle we are in need of, my son.
If I may, Your Highness, we have the best physicians in the world. It shouldn't stop Father Petrus from praying for a miracle. It can't do any harm.
I'm nothing more than a sailor. I don't have much to offer when it comes to healing. As it would seem Telemea pray for the Malachor, just like the Bridge Alliance. Perhaps it would be best to ask for aid from those not suffering from the plague.
The sailor's right. The holy men and the sages had their chance on the continent, and we all know how that went. If this healer is as skilled as our pretty little sapling here says, then we need to see him right away.
Thank you, as always, for your advice. Cousin, you are the only one I trust, so please, don't let me lose my mind.
I'll follow the leads and find a way. I won't let you down. Hold on. I'll be back as soon as I can.
Pues! Get out! Who do you think you are to defoil our ritual? One of those mind shakers, no doubt.
Aiden, it is your duty to assure we are not interrupted.
1,000 pardons, Tien. It is indeed one of those mind shakers.
A mind shaker? Look at him more closely, Aiden. He is an Almanawi. Present yourself, and tell me why you interrupt our ceremony.
My name is Desade. I have come looking for you to ask for your help.
I greet you, Donegad. We are so sorry to have interrupted your ritual. But my friend truly needs your advice.
Don't excuse yourself. Are you the daughter of Bladnid? Are you not a Donegad as well?
It is true. But my powers of healing are far less powerful than your own.
Then, how can I help you?
My cousin suffers from a terrible sickness. The Malikor.
I do not know this sickness. But perhaps we call it by a different name.
It turns the blood black and provokes terrible suffering. And alas, it is fatal in all cases.
We've never seen the ailing touched by such a sickness. And I doubt I am able to heal your cousin.
We are looking for a remedy, but urgently need to relieve his pain. Could you slow the progression of the sickness? Keep him from suffering?
In that, I can help you. I know how to make one forget the pain, even the most severely wounded.
But Tiern, with all that is happening now, you cannot leave to visit this ill person.
It is true. My village needs me now. I cannot leave. I must attend them.
What is going on? Perhaps we can help you.
Truly? You?
Do they have a choice, Aiden? They do really seem to have need of me, don't they?
Well then, tell us what we need to do.
The situation has become unbearable. And it all started when these mind shakers began arriving. They wanted to convert everyone and take them to another place. Turn them away from us. And of course, the village folk would not be persuaded. But the mind shakers remained.
And it was also at that time the Tenlands started to attack. It is not their way to do as such.
There are many wounded, and recently many have gone missing. We must discover from where these monsters come.
I can try and talk sense into the missionaries, perhaps with the help of Bishop Petrus. As for the attacks of the creatures, I will see what I can do. But I need more information.
Our master hunter, or the families of the Taken, could most likely help you.
Very well. I'll take care of it. Make preparations to accompany us. The days are burning like very thin candles.
Do not worry. If you see to the concerns of my village, I will be most happy to accompany you.
Let's go and see this master hunter. He should be able to tell us more about these attacks. Good day. Are you the Master Hunter?
Beurtir tu madre, Naigse. I am indeed one and the same person. What do you want of me?
The Donegad Katasach spoke to me about the animal attacks. Could you tell me more?
The Tenlands have been angered. They are very angry. The beasts have always lived here. But they only attack if we tread near their nest. Of late, they attack on sight. There have been many wounded, and some of our young have even disappeared. It may be that the Tenlands killed them, but it is also possible they followed the missionaries.
What can you tell me about the Tenlands?
They are normally very peaceful creatures, very calm, but who defend their young with fury. During the attacks, I noticed that they were not all the same. Not all from the same nest.
What do you mean?
That the other beasts don't come from here, but from other places. And that they are coming more and more often.
Were there many victims?
Many wounded. Thanks to the healing powers of the Donegal, they survived. But the attacks happen more and more often. And they come with greater fury. I try to chase them away. To destroy any nests that I found. But still, more of them come. And now our children disappear. The stress alone could kill our village.
Can you tell me who they are?
A young fisherman and a gatherer. You will find the sister of the woman and the brother of the man in the village.
I will go and see them. I must be going. I'm in need of your wisdom again.
I hear you.
I believe I can help you in your fight against the Tenlands. How would you advise me to go about it?
You must destroy their nests. It's sad, but the only way to stop their numbers growing. There are most likely 3 around here. I can point you in the direction to one that I discovered. I would have taken care of it, but my village cannot spare my presence here. I must keep watch. I did not find the 2 others. Some in the village may know where to find them.
And how would I go about destroying the nests?
You must burn them and kill the dominant one, or else they will build again. We see them especially at dawn. After that, we no longer see them. But be careful, Renaxi. The night belongs to the Tenlands. That is when they are most awake. Going out at night is very dangerous.
I thank you for your advice. We shall go and destroy the nest come dawn. I must be going. I'm in need of your wisdom again.
I hear you.
Isn't it odd that these creatures who are normally passive have become so aggressive?
Yes.
What do you know?
I do not speak of things that are Naixe, like you.
Is there anything that we might be able to do for you?
Besides destroying their nests, and do you know the art of crafting weapons? Our artisan was among the wounded, and my weapon is broken.
I can try to repair it.
Here, In this condition, it is of no use to me at all.
I must be going. Kadazak advised us to speak with the families of those missing. Perhaps they might know where the Tenlins have built their nests. Good day. I have been sent here by your Donegad. He asked me to help you.
I hope he is right, and that you are not like the Mind Shakers. My sister has gone missing.
It is for that very reason that I am here. To attempt to find her, or to understand.
Then I will tell you what I know.
Your sister, what does she look like?
She is a very beautiful young woman. Kind and sweet. I miss her so very much.
Is she very careful? Does she know she should be wary of the beasts?
Oh yes, she knows it very well. But she has been star-eyed of late. And the stars make you forget all caution.
How long has she been missing?
2 nights. But she never...
Do you know where?
Certainly. In the clearing. We find a great many berries there.
Is there anyone in the village that might want her harmed?
No. No, everyone loves her. Maybe a little too much.
Why do you say that?
She is beautiful and young. The Mind Shakers took notice. And the boys of the village did as well.
What do you think likely happened to her?
She might have been attacked by the Tenlands. But it was...
You think it might have been...
I hope. They were pestering her the other day. They behaved without respect. A boy intervened and chased them off.
But do you think that they might have captured her outside of the village? That merits inspection. I must leave now.